All right, let's dive right in. Picture this, a beautifully crafted wooden box sitting right there on a modern office desk. A new employee reaches out and gently opens the latch. What's inside isn't just desk decor. It's an actual tool designed to help you navigate the incredibly turbulent emotions of professional life. In today's Explainer, we're taking a close look at the Each and Everything Bhagavad Gita Wisdom Box. We'll be unpacking our sources to see exactly how this physical object acts as an anchor, dropping ancient spiritual science right smack into the middle of your modern workspace.
You know, we so often think of starting a new job or snagging that promotion as just a physical and logistical shift. You change your commute, you get a fancy new laptop, you update that email signature, but honestly, it's a profound journey of the mind and spirit. Suddenly you're facing completely new pressures, weird interpersonal dynamics, and honestly, a whole new set of anxieties. The sources we're exploring today make it super clear that to truly succeed in these moments, we absolutely have to look past the physical job description and start looking inward.
And that brings us directly to the concept of the corporate mind journey and how we actually navigate all those intense pressures.
To really manage this journey, we have to understand where all that workplace stress actually lives. According to ancient Indian knowledge systems, we aren't just made up of our physical bodies. We have these different layers or sheets. So when you're feeling totally overwhelmed by that massive stack of papers or unread emails, that feeling doesn't actually exist in the physical world. Our sources explain that it originates in what's called your manomish kosha, basically your mental and emotional body. This is the exact level where your doubts, your likes, dislikes, and that constant inner monologue are running wild. And when this specific sheath gets disturbed by chronic stress, your decision-making weakens and anxiety just totally takes root.
So, how do we fix it? Well, to combat that overwhelming mental fatigue, the sources detail what they call an inner guide. Let's look at how these 35 leaflets bring this timeless wisdom to life. As the lid of this box opens up, you'll see it reveals these 35 distinct leaflets. And what's really fascinating is how it maps 7 emotional states directly to your 7 energy centers, or chakras, using these vibrant color-coded sections. You get 5 practices for each center. So, for example, the red section connects to your root chakra, which is all about building stability and fearlessness when you're maybe feeling a little insecure in a new role. Or, say you have a difficult meeting coming up, you'd look at the blue section, which targets the throat chakra for truthful, clear communication. It is literally designed as a complete psychoenergetic map for your workday.
Now let's zero in on one of the biggest hurdles in any corporate environment. We need to talk about taming the professional ego.
We've all seen it, right? Maybe you've even felt it yourself. You get a bit of success, a shiny new title, and suddenly your whole perspective shifts. Whether you're feeling the crushing pressure of performance or on the flip side, an inflated sense of superiority, it's very often your ahankara taking over. The sources define ahankara as the ego, the I sense. It creates this massive delusion that I, alone, am the doer. This mindset totally isolates you from your actual capabilities and from your team. You start assuming your entire identity is based on your status or your paycheck. And then, when someone inevitably criticizes your work, your ego makes you feel like your very existence is under attack.
To combat this exact feeling, imagine sitting at your desk, feeling the heavy weight of that pride or envy. You just reach into the box and pull out a specific lima green card. This card corresponds to the heart chakra, the anahata, which governs connection. You literally use the specific card to battle the isolating, toxic effects of pride.
And the best part? Instead of overwhelming you with incredibly dense, abstract philosophy that's impossible to apply between meetings, each card walks you through a highly specific 3-step micro-practice. It's built for immediate, practical use right there at your desk. Let's break down exactly how this Lima Green card works.
Step 1 is reading the translation straight from the Gita. It directly, unapologetically, confronts the delusion of the ego. It says, I am the Lord, I am powerful, I am rich. Who is like me? Thus they are deluded. Wow, it just completely exposes that flawed mindset that causes so much friction at work. It acts like a stark mirror held right up to the arrogance that success can sometimes breed.
Then, Step 2 grounds this lofty ancient philosophy right into the gritty reality of a modern office space. It reminds you that thinking you're somehow fundamentally better than your colleagues just because of a bonus or a title is a complete delusion. It absolutely doesn't make you a better leader. It just isolates you and creates a whole lot of paranoia.
And then step 3 is where the magic really happens, the physical action. The card instructs you to do a humble task, like cleaning a shared office space or serving someone, but you have to do it completely anonymously. That is the precise micro-practice needed to instantly reset your focus, dissolve your pride, and reopen that heart chakra. It breaks that I am the doer delusion right then and there.
So by taking this ancient wisdom and turning it into a modern practice, we start working towards a totally new baseline, becoming someone with a steady mind.
Notice the stark contrast we're looking at here? The flawed mindset is agonizing, isn't it? An obsession with outcomes leads directly to severe performance anxiety. But the Gita mindset, which is the path of karma yoga, offers a completely different route. You still perform your duties with absolute excellence, of course, but you have complete freedom from the anxiety of the results. It's about shifting your entire paradigm of how you approach your career on a daily basis.
By repeatedly applying the micro-practices found in these 35 leaflets, the sources explain that you actually chart a roadmap to becoming what the ancient texts call a sthitaprajna, basically a person of steady wisdom. This is a professional with an unshakably steady mind. You still experience the highs and lows of the corporate world, sure, but you aren't controlled by them. You find this deep inner center that those external corporate storms, like a terrible quarter or a harsh performance review, simply cannot reach.
And this leads us to the ultimate corporate balance, where your peace meets your productivity. This quote from the sources really reveals the core philosophy behind the whole box. It's arguably the most famous piece of wisdom regarding performance anxiety ever written. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. By letting go of the obsession with the outcome, you actually drop all that mental noise. The entire idea is to achieve a state of high-performing flow, because you are focused purely on the action itself, not paralyzed by the fearful what-ifs of the future.
When you're done with your micro-practice, the box is closed on the desk, looking just like a beautiful, calming piece of art. But as our sources show, it's designed to be so much more than that. It is quite literally a tangible gift for your continuous mental and spiritual growth. It serves as a daily, physical reminder to perform your duty with excellence, completely free from the anxiety of the results.
Welcome to a mindset that truly, deeply values your peace just as much as your productivity. As you imagine closing this anchor on your desk and getting back to your work, I want to leave you with one final thought. Ask yourself, how will you use this timeless wisdom to conquer your next big challenge? How will you use your next stressful project not as a source of anxiety, but as the exact tool you need to cultivate a steady mind and discover true inner peace?